Hello, welcome to the Courageous Self-Care Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this show, we love to dive into topics that are all about strategic self-care that goes beyond the external. So it goes beyond bubble baths, chocolate, and wine. It even goes beyond exercise and nutrition and sleep and hydration. We're talking about the stuff that is inside that makes an incredible difference. It gets uncomfortable, and at the end of the process or strategy, it's transformational. I have a free gift for you. It is a daily self-care checklist. And this, of course, is going beyond those external self-care practices. And it's more than a checklist. It's a full teaching so that you can start to familiarize yourself with what courageous self-care is. You can go to my website, christinamarlette.com, to get your copy. Today on the show, I'm very excited to have my lovely friend, Myrna Brown. Myrna, welcome.
Hi, Christina. It's awesome to be with you today.
Yay. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, Myrna.
Well, I'm a Feng Shui consultant and teacher. I am almost Feng Shui podcaster. And yeah, it fills me up. It's my life.
I love Feng Shui, and I know it's made a huge difference in my life too. So we'll get into that in a little bit. First of all, we would love to hear your favorite self-care practice.
I think the most successful and beneficial practice I have ever undertaken was meditation. And that has impacted my career as well, because it's also an intuitive practice that we have. So that has, not only giving me the benefits of calming me down, giving me more compassion for everyone, including myself, but this huge gift of intuition as well. So that's my most favorite practice.
I wholeheartedly agree. I have my own meditation practice, and I call it a non-negotiable. I must do it every day, twice, no questions asked. And my mind every day wants to negotiate, but there's the part of me that says, nope, we're doing it.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've found that it makes a huge difference too. So I always love to have our guests share a story of everyday courage, and I'm excited to hear yours.
It goes along with the mantra that I have, and my mantra is, the more that I'm me, the happier I'll be. And how that fits into my story is that I have always been a bit of a people pleaser and wanted to help others, and has let that sort of guide my life, even into my career. So long ago, I entered into laboratory work, working as a medical researcher, and that was, a very accepted sort of place to be working, and accolades for that. Yet I had this piece of me that wanted to be exploring different modalities. And one of them, well, I was open to many different modalities, but when that calling for Feng Shui came into my life, I recognized that it wasn't so accepted, and it was hard for me to talk about it. It was hard for me to, want to teach it. I wanted to share it. I wanted to teach it, but it was hard for me to do that. But the more that I stepped into that, and that's being me, the happier I was, and the ripple effect of that was huge. Happier in my family life got better, and it gave people more permission around me to be more like themselves as well. So that piece of being courageous enough to really want to dive into what really was pulling at my heartstrings served me so well.
I'm noticing that each time I have a guest expert sharing their story of courage, I'm getting covered in goosebumps, which I also call truth bumps.
Yeah.
And I love your mantra, the more I am me, the happier I will be. Yes?
Right.
Yes. So that goes along with one of the foundations of courageous self-care, which is courageous self-expression. And I truly believe that the greatest journey we go on this life is being the best version of ourselves. And it does take courage, but I love what Wayne Dyer said that really gave me a big shift. He said, the things that we want to hide, like our idiosyncrasies and the parts of us that are really unique, that's actually what people love about you or us. Our quirkiness that sets us apart tends to be what people say when they're talking about you or thinking about you. Oh, I just love that about her. And it's an amazing shift to have that awareness.
Totally agree with you there. Yeah. When I think of my special people, it is totally their idiosyncrasies that's their personality. That's what makes them juicy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what would you say in either your personal life or your professional life, what is something that you used to hide that now you courageously share?
Mm. That I like, what I'll say is witchy woo woo stuff. Right? Like I'm so intrigued by working with energy that we don't completely understand. And I mean, I've worked with energy before in the context of chemical reactions and like in the lab, that's all accepted. But the things that we can't see, therefore we don't understand completely. That's just so intrigues me. And yeah, I could go down that rabbit hole with you for about 2 hours or two.
Oh, I love it too. And again, covered in truth bumps while you were explaining that. So yes, I'm so glad that you are courageously sharing that part of you with others. And I like to say, I can mirror your experience. I like to say that I used to be like Monica on Friends. That's how people knew me. And now I'm way more like Phoebe. And I embrace the flakiness. And some people say, you're not flaky, but I embrace it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love the woo-woo stuff too.
Yeah.
And when I trained to be a teacher, there was definitely nothing woo-woo about that. Phys ed teaching was very straightforward. You do the skills, you immerse yourself in the sporting world and athletics, and there was no room for any of the woo-woo. And it was hilarious to me because my spirituality was completely shut down. I thought that religion and spirituality were the same thing, and I couldn't subscribe to any particular religion because I saw so much hypocrisy,
Mhm.
even just in the people I knew. And so we moved into a house that every single wall, except for the kitchen, was painted in shades of purple. And purple, is the color of your crown chakra. And I hated purple, and I hated the colors of our house. So we painted every wall. And as I learned to embrace the woo and come more into knowing about intuition and listening to it and acting on it, I started to love the color purple. So if we
Yeah.
moved into that house again, I would be so happy now. But
Well,
literally, I painted over the color that was a big message.
and purple is also about prosperity in Feng Shui too.
Yes.
So yeah, you might keep a little bit of it.
Yes, absolutely. I love purple now. I wear it and I use purple colored pens. And when people say, what's your favorite color? I love purple. But yeah, for a long time, that chakra and that energy was just completely shut down. So
Mhm.
I'm curious, if you could narrow it down to one great tip for feng shui and working with that energy, what would you share with our listeners?
Ooh. I think for all people across the board, if they have any clutter in their home, that would be my number one. It's sort of foundational before I actually do any feng shui enhancements. That's a huge roadblock for people. So I would say get on top of the clutter. And the interesting thing about clutter is that where it's located in your home is very telling about what's happening in that part of your life. So we have areas in our homes that relate to areas in our life. So we have an area for our relationship, an area for prosperity or finances, and for travel. So there's an area for everything. And when there's clutter in a certain area, it is affecting that area of your life. So that would be my number one thing. It keeps things from opening up for you. It stops opportunities getting to you. So foundational, number one tip, get on top of your clutter.
And what if people are feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start?
Yeah. And you know what? Overwhelm is one of the effects of clutter.
Yes.
So if they can't handle it all on their own, if they have a few friends they could recruit and get on top of it that way, awesome. If not, there are many professional clutter clearers, organizers that are masterful in getting in. They have a great system. You don't have to, worry that it's not going to be overwhelming for them. They're detached from it, so they can power through spaces very quickly. So
Right. Oh, that detachment is so important.
yeah. You like to pick up everything and look at it and think about it too long.
Yes. Yeah, I've become a big fan of decluttering, and I have a little story to share about how it works so well and the energy and the woo-woo-ness of it. So we in my family started doing the art, the life-changing magic of tidying up
Oh,
from
yes. Mm-hmm.
Marie Kondo. And we did her process, started with our clothes, and we brought all of the clothes and accessories and everything downstairs. And oh, it was horrifying how
Yeah.
many we had. Like, how can 4 people need so many things? Although we do live in the north, so
Yeah.
we do need multiple coats and mittens and that kind of thing. But she says once you hold each item up separately and see if there's a spark. If there's a spark, you keep it. If there's nothing, you let it go. And I did end up getting rid of about 2/3 of my wardrobe,
Wow.
which felt amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't too long afterwards that I was doing a web TV show at the time, and we had family friends who owned a beautiful store. And I asked if they wanted to sponsor me. And so I essentially got a shopping spree for a bunch of new outfits that we did a sponsorship trade. So I got all of these amazing new clothes that were so much more me to put in my closet. I didn't fill it up again, but that's what happens when you clear things out. You make room for what actually supports you.
Oh, that is such the message, is that, when I talk to entrepreneurs or people working in business, if their files are packed and full, there's no more room for new clients, right? So it's like when you release stuff, you have no idea what's going to come into your life. It is remarkable in any capacity, right? So it was your wardrobe, but for others it could be a new relationship. It's just remarkable what happens.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have been keeping a file with all the notes from all the sessions I've ever done with clients. And I realize, why would I want to keep that now? Thank you for saying that. I'm going to clear it out. Yay, I found another place to declutter. Your work here is done, Myrna.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll pause here, and I would love to invite you as a listener, or if you know of someone who has a story of courage, to go to ChristinaMarlette.com and apply to be a guest expert on the show. We have these beautiful conversations, as you're hearing right now, and people get to find out more about what you do, and it benefits everyone. So go to that website, ChristinaMarlette.com, which is Marlett, and click on the apply to be a guest button. That's what it is. And Myrna, if people want to find out more about what you do and the art of Feng Shui, where will they find you?
They can also go to my website, and that's myrnabrown.com. And Myrna is Myrna, and brown like the color. And I have a checklist there as well that they could get if they are in business or career. They can pick up a checklist to see what Feng Shui things that they could do to boost their energy there.
That sounds like an amazing resource. So yes, be sure to go to myrnabrown.com to get your checklist, and you'll be able to check off self-care with the daily self-care checklist, and be able to check off what you need to do in your home to create energy and flow for what you want to come in and for what you don't need to leave. We're going to finish with a few quick questions to get to know you a little bit better, Myrna. So the first one is, what is the best thing you have done for yourself this year?
Ooh, that's my fun thing. I went away with some girlfriends, and that's an annual practice that I do as well. So I live with a bunch of men. So my husband, I have 2 boys, I have a male dog. There's a lot of testosterone in my house, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. And I need to have my girl fix. And I mean, we just think differently as women.
Yes.
We laugh at different things. We like different things. We are different. So getting away once or twice a year with some girls for a weekend or more really recharges me. And I can go back and think about those funny things we did or the adventures that we had, and that can fill my cup up for weeks after, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
What is the habit that you have that serves you the most?
Well, probably my meditation that we talked about earlier is probably the change point in my life when I started doing that. And yeah, I wouldn't give it up now.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what would you say is a habit that you would love to shift?
Ah, good one. I would like to increase the amount of exercise that I am participating in right now. So right now, maybe 3 times a week. And I would like to just, even if it's just more walking or whatever, but I would really like to bump that up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took away the word exercise from my vocabulary and I call it moving with joy.
Oh, good. I love that.
So I think, did I move with joy yet today? No,
Mm.
but I certainly want to.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I'm going to borrow that.
please do. And you listeners, go ahead and move with joy too.
Yeah.
And last one, fill in the blank. If everyone did fill in the blank, the world would be a better place. What's your blank?
So if everyone took care of the place that they live, work, or play in, they would feel so much better, and the world would be a better place because of the ripple effect of when we feel better. What we do in our lives is remarkable.
I agree. Truth bumps again. Myrna is speaking the truth.
Awesome.
Myrna, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to go to myrnabrown.com to get your checklist, and be sure to go to christinamarlette.com to get the other checklist. And if you're interested in being a guest, I would love to have you. Myrna, thank you.
Thank you, Christine. It's been
You're
a pleasure.
welcome. You're welcome. And remember, self-care is not selfish. When you prioritize your own well-being with purpose, everyone in your world benefits. Thank you so much for listening. We're here every Monday through Friday. Be sure to come back to hear more. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.